Hi, this is a recorded lecture for the IB DP Design Technology, topic 4.6, robots in automated production. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about what is a robot, and it's defined as a programmable machine, often controlled by computers that can perform a variety of tasks automatically. We tend to think of robots looking like this humanoid robot or the Boston Dynamics Spot robot that mimics a dog. But most robots in the world are actually industrial robots and look much more like this. So 90% of robots look like this, or they might be Roombas, but very few robots are actually like this. Maybe in the future, we'll have more robots that look like this and less like this. But for now, most are industrial robots. Please watch this video and you can see different industrial robots working. From the IB, the benefits of increased efficiency and consistency when using robots in production should be considered. Automation of production impacts people's jobs. Ethical and moral considerations must be made when implementing automated production. Automated robot production reduces the need for skilled workers. However, it favors skilled programmers, designers, and technicians who maintain robots. This is something called creative destruction. The Edison light bulb and electric lights basically destroyed the kerosene lamp industry. So it destroyed those jobs, but created new jobs. And what's happening with robots is a bit like that too. A lot of jobs that were very routine, that used to be done by workers, human workers, are now being done by robots, essentially destroying those jobs, but it's creating a whole bunch of new jobs in programming, designing, and technicians. We need to make some considerations in robot design. So one of the first things is a work envelope. So this is a fixed 3D space where work activities take place, considering clearance and reach. And we definitely need to consider that with robots. And you can see some examples of work envelopes with this robotic arm. We need to consider load capacity, so the weight a robot can manipulate. This is important because you don't want it to try to lift things that are too heavy for it. We're going to consider several types of robots, so industrial robots, service robots, personal care robots, and medical robots. Industrial robots, like I said, are the most common type of robots, and you can see here on an assembly line, these are robots that are building cars on an assembly line. And this is what a typical robot on Earth actually looks like. But there are all kinds of service robots, and I'm seeing more and more of these around. There's robots that deliver food, or there's robots that are sweeping floors. So these are different types of robots that you're seeing more and more of. Personal care robots, so these would be robots that help people who are disabled. And there are medical robots. So these are robots that can do things like surgery, and they're pretty interesting. We have to consider robot complexity. Single task robots carry out one task. So for instance, a Roomba, a vacuum cleaning robot that sweeps floors and vacuums floors, this is a single task robot. It's not doing anything else but that. You might have multitask robots. So this is a type of robot that can perform more than one task in a manufacturing environment. This is an example of that. It can do multiple things in this manufacturing environment. We also have machine to machine, so M2M, and these are wired and wireless communication between similar devices. So this is actually very interesting. It's a lot of robots that are communicating with each other in a space. And so it's something that you want to pay attention to. And there's quite a few times on tests that machine to machine comes up. So you have to think about why would that be an advantage? And basically it's an advantage because, a robot on this side of the factory can communicate with a robot on this side of the factory. It can tell it, if there's a problem or if there's a need for something else. That communication is very important. But basically, it's a bunch of robots communicating with each other, either through wires or wireless communication. First generation robots were simple mechanical arms that had the ability to make precise motions at high speeds. They need constant supervision by a human operator. So this is an example of a first generation robot. Second generation robots, these are robots equipped with sensors that can provide information about their surroundings. They can synchronize with each other and do not require constant supervision by a human. However, they are controlled by an external control unit. And you can see these kinds of sweeping robots in places like airports. It's pretty common now. Third generation robots are more autonomous and can operate largely without supervision from a human, and they have their own central control. Swarms of smaller autonomous robots also fit into this category, and you can think of the Mars rovers as being a third generation robot. Essentially, because of the communication time between Earth and Mars, these robots have to largely sense their environment and make decisions without the supervision of a human. Artificial intelligence, these are machines or computers that mimic cognitive functions that humans associate with the human mind, such as learning and problem solving. They use complex digital neural networks and machine learning to learn and process information. The ones that we have now are large language models, and essentially they've been trained on all of the information in the internet, and they're a prediction machine. They basically predict what is the most common reply to a certain prompt. And so really that's what they are. They're just prediction machines. They're not really thinking, they're predicting. We need to consider what happens when people and jobs are replaced by robots, and so they're automated. There's an example here where they're talking about universal basic income. This is what we're going to maybe needing to do when humans are replaced by AI or robots. We have to think of changing skills and retraining people. It's a quandary and something that we have to think about morally and ethically. If we replace everybody's jobs with robots, what do we do as a species? It's a brave new world. All right, thank you for watching.